What's up, guys? Welcome to Dynasty Drip. I'm coming at you today with a buy low show. Some players who I just think are not valued enough in Dynasty Fantasy Football right now. If you like what you hear today, make sure to hit like, hit subscribe, comment on the video. All of this helps the algorithm, and I really need you guys so much right now. So thank you for coming to the channel. I appreciate it. I want to keep you here. So let's get into today's video. First guy I want to talk about is Jared Goff. Now, this may not be a buy low because of what he did in week 2 of the NFL season. This is just purely based on where he's being valued. QB 23 for Jared Goff is absolutely crazy for me. He has top 12 upside in Dynasty, and he has a secure QB role in Dynasty, which a lot of guys in front of him cannot say the same. You know, Bryce Young, even all the way up to Caleb Williams, may not have as secure future in the NFL as Jared Goff. He is the type of guy offensive coordinators like to have as their quarterback. He hits guys in rhythm. He hits them and lets them run with the ball after the catch. And he is a leader, man. And you can say what you want, but getting this guy as a QB2 on your Dynasty team is something that everyone should be doing if you're looking for depth or a second quarterback in a super flex league. My trade idea right now is, can I trade Chuba Hubbard to go get Jared Goff? I mean, in general, nothing against Chuba Hubbard, but if I can upgrade at quarterback instead of running back, especially in a super flex league, obviously, that's something I'm willing to do. Now, KTC says this is fair. Not going to say you can get him for Hubbard, but in general, if you're looking to go buy a quarterback right now in Dynasty, I think Jared Goff is a guy I would consider looking into. He is a safe asset with amazing weapons around him. He plays a lot of games inside. You know, obviously all of the Lions home games. He gets the Vikings one, other NFC teams every year. So Jared Goff is one of those guys who's a safe guy to go buy low on in Dynasty Fantasy Football today. Next one I want to talk about, kind of the running back equivalent. That's going to be Jaylen Warren. He just looks to be the starting running back for the Steelers this year. I did speak about Warren as a redraft pick as well this offseason, and it's kind of just coming to fruition. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is not going to trust the rookie. He's going to trust a guy like Jaylen Warren. He's making enough plays that if you're looking for running back help in Dynasty, I think Jaylen Warren might be an affordable piece to add to your backfield, especially in a PPR league. Now, you know, he obviously doesn't come with top 5 upside, top 8 upside, but he's an RB2, and he's being valued outside of that. He's only 26. He signed an extension with Pittsburgh, so he's going to be around for a couple years. I like that a lot. Not threatened by Caleb Johnson yet, as I mentioned. So for me, I'm willing to trade a guy like Luther Burden if I'm more of a contender and I need running back help. I like Burden. Sure, I'm not in love with the guy, but I don't know if I trust the Chicago offense right now enough to go trade him, and I'm willing to trade away what potential Burden has in the future for a guy I can start every week at my RB2 or one of my flex positions in Jaylen Warren if I'm looking for a running back. Now we're going to get into more like the injury buy lows, whatever you want to call it. But, you know, George Kittle is one of those guys that if you can get through these next 4 or 5 weeks, he's got the upside. We all know he does. He had a monster game week 1 before he went out. He re-signed in San Francisco, so he's there long-term enough that he still has dynasty longevity, you know, a 3-year window, whatever you want to call it. I think tight ends are lasting a lot longer than people think these years. Kelsey made it really far. Zach Ertz is still doing totally fine. So the thing is with Kittle, you're going to have to trade someone to go get him that people are interested in. You're not going to get him for pennies on the dollar. You're not going to get him for a second-round pick. Keon Coleman's a guy I would be willing to move. He obviously brings upside. He had a good week 1, didn't do much week 2. I think that's the Buffalo Bills pass catcher experience, and I don't really want to play that game. If I can get George Kittle and he's the last piece to my championship team, get by with a guy like Hunter Henry or Brenton Strange or something until Kittle comes back and he can be that piece that really pushes you over the top, I think that's a move worth making. Yes, he has the hamstring. It could come back to bite you, but you have to play for the upside to win in your Dynasty League, and Kittle has tight end upside that basically everyone not named McBride, Bowers, or I would include Tyler Warren really has moving forward. Another injury one, Chris Godwin. I just think he's valued a little too low. Now, you do have to wait for him to come back, obviously, which is why his value is suppressed. Emeka Egbuka looks amazing. Mike Evans is still there. But they re-signed Chris Godwin. He's going to be paired with Baker Mayfield, so he's going to have his games. Now, he may not have the wide receiver one upside he was potentially showing last year now that they have another talented wide receiver on their team in Ibuka, but he's going to be in the mix to be a wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3 every week, especially in PPR leagues. He's still a very, very good fantasy wide receiver. He just happens to be hurt right now. So if I can trade a second-round pick, which KTC is saying is an overpay, doesn't mean it is, but I think it's fair value to go get a every week starter for the second half of 2025 for my Dynasty team. I would pay that every single week for a guy like Chris Godwin, who, yes, he's getting older, but I still do think he has 2 to 3 years left, and there's nothing guaranteed with the second-round pick, especially if you're more of a contending team in Dynasty. And the last one I want to talk about, it may be risky, but there may be a tiny buy window for Joe Burrow right now just due to the injury. Now, obviously, it's risky, and buying injured players doesn't always work. But if you'd done this 2 years ago with Burrow, his value did increase, and he potentially won you your league last year. I'm in a league where this exact same thing happened, where Joe Burrow went down a couple years ago. I bought because I was competitive rebuilding, paid Kyler Murray and something to go get him. And then I won my league last year. And right now, if you are a competitive rebuild or a reload roster, Joe Burrow is one of those guys that you need to reach out and be willing to pay for. He still brings top 5 upside at the Dynasty quarterback position. My trade idea right now is, can I trade Kyler Murray in a first rounder to go get him? Kyler Murray's good. I think Kyler Murray's going to kind of float between QB 12 and 20 for the next couple of years. And he's a great guy to have on your Dynasty team, but I don't really know if he's the league winning asset that Joe Burrow can be. And it's very, very few and far between that buy windows open up on players like Joe Burrow. And you're getting another one right now. Yes, he keeps getting hurt, but he holds his value even through getting hurt, that even if you want to pivot off him next off season, the value is going to be there. So I'm willing to make a trade like this in my league. So one last note when we're talking about these buys, obviously these trades may not always happen in your league. These are just ideas I have. If other trade discussions come up with some of these players, make sure to come back to this video, shoot me a comment, and I'll help chat with you about what I think would be a good deal to go get some of these players if these exact deals, or you don't own these players. You know, obviously we don't always have all these players, and it's impossible to do every what if. If you have more questions, hit me up in the Discord, join the channel below. We got a lot of guys helping you out there. Thank you guys for coming to Dynasty Drip. I really appreciate it. Please, please, please hit subscribe, like the video. Comments are always welcome. Love you guys. Let's win week 3. I got you.